Audio Jungle.
Ivanka Trump modeled the 1940s-inspired look, complete with a demure fascinator, while celebrating the Jewish holiday of Shemini Atzeret with her 3 children on Monday. Taking full advantage of the unusually warm fall weather, the first daughter walked to the American Friends of Lubavitch synagogue, while her children, Arabella, 7, Joseph, 4, and Theodore, 2, happily rode alongside her on their scooters. Secret Service agents kept a watchful eye as Ivanka, 36, guided her excited children down sidewalks and across streets by herself, while her husband, Jared Kushner, was noticeably absent from the family outing thanks to his duties at the White House. The mother of 3 looked as though she had walked straight out of another decade in a pale green $2,281 Alessandra Rich dress, which featured a rose print, black buttons, and a peplum top that gave the illusion she was wearing a 2-piece skirt suit. Keeping with the religion's strict dress code, she topped off her vintage-inspired ensemble with a black fascinator that covered her head, though she didn't do so while celebrating the holiday last year, and her skirt fell well below her knees. Ivanka wore her long blonde hair loose around her shoulders, but the headband on her fascinator kept her locks off of her face. Her black slingback heels matched the buttons on her dress, and she added a modern spin to her outfit by donning a pair of trendy eared jackets instead of her normal stud earrings. She also wore a red string around her left wrist and her diamond engagement ring. Though she hasn't spoken about the purpose of the string, it does bear a resemblance to the type of red string that Kabbalah practitioners wear to ward off the evil eye. Ivanka's children, meanwhile, were just as dressed up for their trip to the synagogue. Arabella sported a white dress with a tiered ruffled skirt, while her little brothers looked like their dad in matching navy suits and light blue button-down shirts. Keeping their safety in mind, all 3 children had on helmets during their short jaunt to the local synagogue. The family was photographed near their home, which is located in the upscale Kalorama neighborhood of Washington, D. C.Ivanka had a bright smile on her face as she watched her children gleefully scoot ahead of her on the sidewalk. When it was time to cross a street, Ivanka waved her children along while a Secret Service agent kept a watchful eye. The mom looked a bit overwhelmed as her 2 sons lagged behind. At one point, she stopped to help little Theodore with his toddler-friendly scooter, which has 2 wheels in the front. Joseph was riding the same scooter as his little brother, but his was blue instead of green. Arabella, meanwhile, was zipping along on a silver 2-wheeler. Shemini Atzeret is the holiday that immediately follows the 7th day of the Jewish festival of Sukkot.It as a separate, yet connected, holy day devoted to the spiritual aspects of Sukkot. This year, Shemini Atzeret began at sunset on September 30th and will end at sundown on October 1st. Ivanka converted to Judaism in 2009 to marry Jared, an Orthodox Jew, and they are raising their 3 children Orthodox as well. Although work is prohibited on the holiday, Jared, 37, was seen leaving his home with a briefcase in his hand on 7 a.m. on Monday morning. Jared donned a navy blue suit over a white button-down and a navy striped tie, and, like his wife, he wore a thin red string on his left wrist. Later in the day, he attended a news conference held by his father-in-law, President Donald Trump, in the White House Rose Garden. The president acknowledged Jared as well as U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer while speaking about the new United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, which is set to replace the North America Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA.